It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Yay, good morning. I'm going to try again, folks. Maybe the third time is the charm. My apologies. There's obviously some technical issues with StreamYard. I've had problems with them all morning. As I had announced in the original show, I don't know how long I was on the air originally until I caught it that it was off. So I'm just going to go over and try to bring up everything that I talked about. Issues with StreamYard all morning. I was not able to upload anything until about 40 minutes before the show, and then I was scrambling like crazy to get stuff uploaded. So obviously there is some kind of issue because clearly in the middle of it, it went out twice now, and neither time did I lose Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure what caused it, folks. The other thing is, yesterday afternoon, I had gotten things fixed with X, and I even did a live test on X yesterday. And as I went to start the stream this morning, once again, I got the message on X that says you have to be a premium member. I am a premium member. So I don't know why I'm not able to get on X again, so I got to work on that today. And I see at least some people now are finding their way back to the show. All right, so I made several announcements this morning beyond that, but first let me get caught up with where I'm supposed to be. This is Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on the 16th day of July. The lead story this morning is cruise lines and drinks hack. Also today, 61 free cruises. Itinerary change for Utopia. Second China-built cruise ship nears completion. Industry increases in Asia business, and lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Corn Fritters Day. Not my favorite, but I'll eat them. Also today, folks, if you're listening via the podcast, I hope we get the podcast up today. So let's keep our fingers crossed. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat guy. All the big guys have me. So what we try to do is get it up within 10 minutes or so at the end of the show. There's always a link in the description so you can access the video feed if you'd like. All you have to do is click on the link in the description to the podcast. All right, so I told you about Albee this morning. Two other announcements to make before we get to the show. And I can't tell you, folks, how really excited I am about what announcement I hope to be making here in the next few days. I can't make it yet. I have talked a bit with amigo John. I've talked a bit with Nate in Alaska, and I've talked a bit with Elizabeth down in Cozumel to make sure they feel that I'm going in the right direction. But I'm telling you, folks, as soon as I get the green light on this, which, again, could come today, tomorrow, the next day, early next week, I don't know. I'm talking about a major announcement, not only for me in this channel, but an announcement that can affect each one of you that watches this, whether you're in the chat room or you just watch it or you watch it on replay. Something that all of you guys might well benefit from. So I'm really excited about the announcement that's upcoming. Also, later on this week, and as of just a few minutes ago, she hasn't sent me the date yet, but my favorite travel writer in the world, Janine Williamson, over in the UK, is going to be with us one day. I've got something to give her a hard time about, which, as you know, my relationship with Janine, that's pretty normal, and she gives it right back. So, and she's, we need to catch up on what all she's been doing. A lot of stuff lately too, but so I'm looking forward to that. So Janine's going to be on one day. Don't know what day yet, but that's coming up as well. All right, the other thing this morning before I attempt to get on with the show, so far I'm showing that I'm still on the air. I see some more people are coming in. Okay, that's, I had no sound but a 22-second intro video, and I saw the comments. So that was before. Okay, so I assume that I am on now and you guys can hear me. Oh. Anyway, I'll try to keep my eye over here on the comments as well. All right, speaking of Elizabeth down in Playa del Carmen or Cozumel, she had a friend into town from Bermuda, and yesterday they went down to Ispua. Ispua is, of course, just an absolutely gorgeous beach south of Playa del Carmen. I think that's south. Yeah, south of Playa del Carmen. And then a little storm rolled in, which made for just a lovely picture. Of course, down there they have storms like that. They come and gone, and then it's beautiful again. So Elizabeth and her buddy had a good time down at Ispua yesterday. And again, I hope I have learned how to properly pronounce that, as of course Elizabeth gave me a hard time when we first attempted that one. All right, guys, I'm going to attempt to get on with the rest of the show. But first, let's stick a quick break in from one of our network sponsors before I lose everything again. All right, and on with the first story of today. A cruise passenger has shared his drink hacks for smuggling alcohol on cruises, garnering hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. However, the hack has backfired and cruise lines have caught on. In one video posted in early July, the TikToker instructs viewers on secretly replacing soda cans with alcoholic ones in multi-packs without obvious tampering. The method involved meticulously opening the pack with a knife and resealing it using super glue to make it look untouched. However, cruise staff who pay attention to social media hacks have adopted and enhanced their inspections to prevent similar tricks, as one unlucky cruise passenger discovered. Security staff at one terminal opened a pack of so-called soda cans and found they contained alcohol. They even removed the cans from their packaging for inspection. They knew all the tricks. Warning, cruise hack is no good thanks to this guy, shared the passenger in the original hack video. We no longer can bring our own drink. Sneaking alcohol onto a cruise ship can lead to several consequences, starting with the immediate confiscation of the alcohol when caught. Cruise lines may also impose fines or surcharges as penalties. In more severe cases, the guest may be asked to disembark from the ship at the port. Good for you, cruise lines. I'm with you on this one. I'm sorry, folks, and I realize some of you are just trying to avoid paying for the drinks or a drinks package and all that. And have you guys not forgotten what it was like during the pandemic when we couldn't cruise? And now you're trying to take shortcuts, to save a buck. Well, I'm just not. I'm not going to go along with that thought. And no, I'm the first one to tell you, I think drinks packages are way too expensive. One of the reasons I like to sail on Royal Caribbean is I get enough for me to drink every day and be happy. I wish other cruise lines had that in their loyalty program. I do like some of the package deals they're coming up with. Like the Princess Cruise I've got coming up to Alaska. We got a good deal on the Princess Plus. I've gotten decent deals at times from Norwegian, not all the time. Some of the times they're just outrageously expensive. But let's not try to screw the cruise lines. They got to get caught up too from those couple years. And let's just stay happy with our cruising, folks. Was that audio not playing on that at all? That was strange. All right, can somebody drop me in a line? Are you hearing me now? Let's go over here. I'm showing that I'm still live. No audio. Why? Audio. Okay, can you hear me? No audio now, okay. Huh. All right, let me go back and see if I can play that story. I couldn't hear it either. So, where was I? I was right here. Let's try that again. Now, that story was up before. I wonder if it's not picking up all of these. Some terrific news this morning on our Norwegian Gem cruise from Quebec to Boston, which sails on September the 13th. We've had a little bit of a price reduction. Cabins now start at $792. Solos start at $1,321. Including taxes and port charges. 7-night cruise from Quebec City, stopping in Charlottetown, Sydney, Halifax, Portland, Bar Harbor, and into Boston. All you have to do is call or text me or email me at chilliefalls.com and join us on the Quebec to Boston cruise, September 13th. And yeah, we got some openings, got some cabins, folks. So give me a call. It's nice that the prices come down a little bit, but join us. I know it's coming up a short timer, but we'll do that. All right. So that story that I missed, I wonder if I can. Let's see if I can find the story. Okay. Yeah, I don't have time to pull the graphics up. I'm just going to give you the story, guys. It was about the 66 free cruises. Virgin Voyages has launched a summer campaign titled Seize the Ride, which pairs the cruise line with indoor cycling company Soul Cycle. The partnership is a first between the high energy brands. Starting yesterday through September 4th, Seize the Ride will include themed Soul Cycle rides across various locations, with its land-based participants engaging in the ultimate summer challenge of riding for a chance to win an exclusive adult-only cruise on Virgin Voyages. And they're doing this at each of Soul Cycle's 61 studios. So, congratulations to Soul Cycle and Virgin Voyages. Several days before Utopia of the Seas welcomes her first guests on board, some travelers are already informed of an itinerary change. Fortunately, the change is more than 6 months from now, giving guests plenty of opportunity to rearrange their plans if desired. The impacted voyage is the... Okay, so the stories are not playing the audio. That's what you're telling me in the chat room. Okay, so, wow. All right, so let's do this. Then I'll just do like I did on that. Only let me take a half a second here and try to upload the graphics again. So we've got something to look at. I've got to come back here. I have no idea why this is happening, but let's see quickly. I need that. That Guru Hack Utopia. Okay, now now I might have to stumble a little bit finding the stories because it's what I'm seeing is not going to come up in the same order that I have it on my script. But let's try this. All right, so the next story, folks, is about Utopia of the Seas. A royal story was working, Gary says. Oh. Okay, I'm getting so confused this morning. If it was working, we'll try that again. So I don't have to redo all this. All right, so this is terrible. Live broadcasting today, folks. All right, let's see if this works now. Several days before Utopia of the Seas welcomes her first guests on board, some travelers are already informed of an itinerary change. Fortunately, the change is more than 6 months from now, giving guests plenty of opportunity to rearrange their plans if desired. The impacted voyage is the February 3rd sailing, a 4-night cruise. The original cruise was to have visited first Nassau, then enjoy a day at sea, then a day at Coco Cay. Utopia of the Sea's new itinerary is now calling on Coco Cay both on Tuesday, February the 4th and Thursday, February the 6th. On both days, the ship will be docked at the private island from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The visit to Nassau will now be on Wednesday, February the 5th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. instead of Tuesday, February the 4th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. as originally scheduled. The second China-built large cruise ship is approaching completion after 3+ months of assembly. The vessel's 3-layer hull and superstructure is now fully formed, indicating that 80% of the sections are assembled. Since docking in April, 28 sections and 26 subsections have been successfully assembled. The current focus is on structural welding and equipment installation. According to the 2024 Cruise Industry News Annual Report, cruise capacity in the Asia-Pacific region is set to see a significant increase this year. After several years below historical levels due to the pandemic, capacity may be up to the tune of 89% this year. The increase is being driven by Adora Cruises and Resorts World Cruises and also other international brands. MSC Cruises, which returned to the region in 2023, will be one of the largest players in the Asia-Pacific region in 2024, having relaunched its China-based cruise program earlier this year with the MSC Bellissima. Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Heald has shared lovely memories of the beloved fitness guru Richard Simmons after Simmons' passing on Saturday. Simmons sailed a total of 30 times with Carnival, offering his quirky and positive brand of fitness fun to everyone on board. The exercise-themed cruises, which included itineraries to Mexico, the Eastern Caribbean, and Alaska, featured workout sessions on the Lido deck and in the ship's main theater, with Simmons encouraging and helping guests along the way. Simmons' approach to fitness always included sharing individual stories, struggles, and triumphs, and he made personal connections with thousands of people throughout his long fitness career. Simmons and Kathy Lee Gifford appeared in a 1995 commercial for Carnival Cruise Line to promote their Cruise to Lose voyages. Here's one of those old commercials.
You know, there's nothing more fun than a vacation at sea. You can lounge in the fresh air, visit romantic ports, enjoy fine dining, great shows, pampered service. I love it here. There's so much to do.
Holly, Hal, hi, Kathy.
Hi, Richard. What are you doing here?
Having the time of my life.
Oh.
Yeah. If my friends can't see me now.
Take a 3, 4, or 7-day vacation on Carnival, the most popular cruise line in the world.
I love this ship.
Lisbon is the largest city and capital of Portugal. Have you ever thought about visiting St. George's Castle? Or perhaps the Belém Tower? Well, you can do that and lots more on the Norwegian Bliss transatlantic from Miami to Southampton, which sails January the 4th. 13 nights. Cabins start at $1,084, including taxes and port charges. And not only will you stop in Lisbon, it also stops in Ponta Delgado, Viga, Spain, Le Havre, France, and arrives in Southampton on January the 17th. A fabulous transatlantic cruise on Norwegian Bliss. Just email me at chilliefalls.com or give me a call. And that's going to wrap up the news portion of a totally disjointed show. Have no idea how much of this show actually made it out. I don't know how much of the audio was working, how much wasn't. Let's go back in the chat room, see who's fussing. Gretchen says, "What happened?" I'm not at all sure. I'm kind of at a loss on today, totally. And it all started off early this morning when I couldn't upload anything. I thought maybe it was a power outage from storms. It's not storming here right now. It's supposed to be, by the way, it was 103 here yesterday, hotter than they expected. Supposed to be 100 again today. We weren't supposed to get the 100 till tomorrow. Anyway. Steve's with us. Hi, good morning, Steve. Hot Air Tom found his way back. I found it. Nothing on the replay. Your piece was 22 seconds. Bob's with us. Good morning. Morning, all. Taco Tuesday. Yes, it is. Okay, Jenny Lynn got back. Jenny Lynn was actually in the original chat room way early, because I asked her where she's from. She's from New York, in case some of you might have seen that the first time around. So anyway, Jenny Lynn, if you're still with us after all this disaster, welcome back. It's always good to have you. Always good to have somebody from New York. Of course, we got a couple people from New York, like Emily's up there and several others. Gretchen said I had no sound but a 20-second intro. I saw the comments, okay? Todd says, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jenny Lynn. I agree, Todd. Gretchen says, no audio. Jenny Lynn says, I hear you. Gretchen says, yay. Gary says, no audio, now hearing. Gretchen says, yes. No audio, now okay. Gary older than dirt says, yes. We have audio, your segment didn't. Oh, man. No sound again. Royal Story was working. That's where I was going to just flip back to the old-fashioned reading the stories. And Gary said it was working. I tried it again. Hopefully it made it through. I don't know. Gretchen says, we booked a sanctuary mini suite on Sun Princess. Awesome. For November the 30th, sailing anniversary. And we have, 29 days till Alaska? Yes, that's correct. No storming here either, just human and threatening. Jenny Lynn says, I was early. Well, Jenny Lynn, that's okay. Sometimes I have time to chat, sometimes I don't. And right after, and then before, I can't remember what I was doing when we actually were chatting, but I think I was after I'd finally gotten access and was waiting for things to download. But what a totally disastrous day, folks. And for the podcast guys, I have no idea what's going to turn out for the podcast. I'll have to see as I get there. All right, thankfully, that's going to wrap me up for today. By the way, did my first commercial play? If somebody could stay in there on the Quebec to Boston cruise that I filmed this morning. If somebody's still in the chat room, if you could let me know if that played or not, because that's when I wasn't sure about sound. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end with that because I just did it this morning. So let's see if it does, in fact, play, and then I'll end the show. Some terrific news this morning on our Norwegian Gem cruise from Quebec to Boston, which sails on September the 13th. We've had a little bit of a price reduction. Cabins now start at $792. Solos start at $1,321, including taxes and port charges. 7-night cruise from Quebec City, stopping in Charlottetown, Sydney, Halifax, Portland, Bar Harbor, and into Boston. All you have to do is call or text me or email me at chilliefalls.com and join us on the Quebec to Boston cruise, September 13th. I was getting dancing when I knew that was playing. All right, that's it for today, folks. Again, my apologies. I'll try harder tomorrow. Have no idea if I can fix this or not. All right, guys, I'll see everybody back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. Y'all have a great day, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day I'll get together on this. Have a great
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.